afternoon, everyone. Looks like everyone is here and we are live. My name is Gina Levesque, Intake and Compliance Manager for the Palm Beach County Commission on Ethics, and we are here for a status check for the case of Robert Shore, which is case number C-22005, I believe. Madam Hearing Officer.
Yes, hi. I have the case number 004.
Okay.
C-22.
My error, sorry.
No problem. This is Renee Clark. I will be presiding as the special magistrate over this case. And as Ms. Levesque just said, this is our pre-hearing case management conference. If I could have the attendees just make their appearance for the record, I would appreciate it. We can start with the COE advocate.
Rhonda Geiger for the Commission on Ethics.
This is Dave Markarian for Mr. Shore.
Investigator Abigail Arzari, investigator with the COE.
Danielle Freeman with the Clerk's Office.
Christy Kelly, Executive Director, Commission on Ethics.
And I think you noted Mr. Shore has appeared as well.
Okay.
He was here, but he has left the meeting, and the other attendees here are just observers because this is an open meeting to the public, so anyone can attend. I'm not sure. Someone just appeared. Is that Mr. Shore? Did he come back?
Yeah, I came back. Sorry about that. I tried to unmute and I lost it. So yeah, Robert Shore, I'm here.
Okay, welcome everyone. As a housekeeping matter, Mr. Makarian, I don't know if I received a notice of appearance from you.
I have one on file, but I'm happy to resend it or to forward it.
Okay, that'll be fine. Yeah, if you just make sure, maybe if you send it to Ms. Levesque, she can forward it to me as well.
Yes, Ms. Clark, I did receive one. It's my failing for sending it to you.
No problem at all. No problem. I just wanted to make sure that you were all on the same page here. So, okay, very good. So my understanding is that we have a final hearing set in this case for June 24th of this year. Is that correct?
That is my understanding. 24 and 25, I think, have been reserved.
Okay, and the 25th. Okay. All right. So how long do you think this hearing is going to take? You think it'll take the two full days?
I'm not sure if you want me to address you each time, but this is Dave Markarian. I do not think so, but it would probably be more appropriate for me to give you more of a firm answer after I've gotten a little bit deeper into things, and I probably could share that information, or at least my view on that, within 14 days. I could give you a better estimate. I'd love to talk to I'd love to talk to Ms. Geiger and make sure that my thoughts are in line with hers.
Yes, thank you. That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that then. So let's just see if we can come up with some dates, some deadlines. We'll start with the exchange of witness lists and evidence schedules. Does either party wish to be heard as to a date or a deadline for the exchange of witness lists and evidence schedules?
The COE would defer to you, Your Honor.
Okay.
So,
Mr. Markarian?
so let me just, if it's okay, I'm going to share my thoughts freely as if we've known each other for, a decade.
Okay.
The way I like to operate is to work collaboratively with the representative, the legal representative for any opposition, and work collaboratively because that's probably the smartest way to go about things, and he or she would have thoughts that I would need to take into consideration. However, if I were designing how we would do it, we would do an initial good faith sharing of information as to who we thought those witnesses would be initially, and let's say within that same time frame, 15 days, and then give ourselves a firm cutoff date after which there would not be, absent the magistrate's blessing, we would not be adding anyone else beyond a certain date, because discovery might reveal something that both sides, either side, might want to take advantage of. So in short, or to repeat, I would suggest that within 15 days from today, we provide each other our good faith thoughts, provide that in writing, meaning email or whatever form is appropriate, and then have something more firm. I would suggest no later than mid-May, but I'm totally open to this. I'm not wedded to any of these, obviously, Ms. Clark, and I haven't had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Geiger, but I will do that in the new week.
And
Okay.
just, Your Honor, if I may, Rhonda Geiger for the commission, just so everybody's clear, I'm filling in today, but I won't actually be handling the hearing. We have an outside advocate doing that. So I don't have any problem agreeing to dates with just everybody's understanding that I haven't confirmed everything specifically with the outside advocate schedule. So, but I don't see that it should be a problem. And especially if we go by, let's just say, a general witness list exchange by April 22nd, and then we can pick a firm one mid-May, that sounds great.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough, certainly. What if we choose a firm deadline date of like May 24th? That would be Friday, and it's approximately 1 month before the final hearing is scheduled.
That sounds great.
Me too. I agree.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So let's make it May 24th. That'll be the firm date, and if it sounds like the parties are in agreement on the 15 days from today, so you can confer with each other and talk about some of your impressions in good faith. So do you want to impose the 15-day deadline?
Sure. What I heard Ms. Geiger say was April 22nd, but 15 days strictly would be the Friday before the 19th of April, which is both are fine with me. April 19th is totally fine with me.
Yeah, either are fine.
Okay. Let's do April 19th then. All right, very good. And now let's talk about a deadline for all discovery in the case. When do you think that you can have all of the discovery completed? Unless, of course, it's extended by, an order of showing good cause. But if we can have just, the parties agree as to a deadline for discovery.
I think we have generally provided pretty much everything we have at this point. Of course, if we run across anything new, we'll get that out right away. But as far as what we have at this time, it has been provided.
Okay, great. Mr. Markarian, do you expect having some more discovery for the advocate?
I don't know, but let's assume yes. And I just wanted to clarify one thing with all of you. When we talk about exchange of discovery or completion of discovery, would that not include depositions? So if that's the case, I was going to recommend that all discovery be completed of any kind by the 12th, but in my head, I divided it into two chunks. I was thinking that if there's a request or requirement for depositions, that is something that we should advise by May 1st and conclude by May 31st. If we're talking about all discovery, meaning subpoenas and things that are not depositions, I would think that unless someone has a strong view, that should be completed by June 12th. And I don't actually know what the day of the week that is. Oh,
Okay.
I guess I do actually. That would be a Wednesday.
A Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
That works for the COE. Thank you.
Okay. All right, great. Sounds like the parties are in agreement, so I'm happy with that as well. And do we want to use that same June 12th date for a motion cutoff deadline?
That makes sense.
So that would be for determination of them or filing of them?
They would have to be served on or before the June 12th date. And the dispositive motions would be heard at the hearing itself, at the final hearing. Non-dispositive motions could be heard without a hearing or at the final hearing.
So I can make anything work. Particularly, I've worked a little bit with this team, and I know that everyone does the right thing and works together. But what I was going to suggest instead would be that instead of doing it on the same day, that we do it by Friday. That gives us 2 days to digest.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so that if have everything in hand by Wednesday the 12th, we would then have the deadline that we're discussing right now occur within 48 hours roughly. In other words, by that Friday the 15th. And that provides everyone with, yes, Your Honor, that would provide everybody with roughly 10 days. That may not be accurate. Roughly.
I'm sorry, what was the motion filing date that you're proposing?
I was suggesting that we do it, I said the 15th, but that was wrong. I meant the 14th.
Okay,
I meant the 14th. I meant the Friday after the Wednesday deadline on the 12th.
gotcha.
Hi, may I be recognized, please?
Certainly.
Can we please establish the month for the record as we're speaking about the dates, please, just for the record?
Of course. I was referring to Wednesday, June 12th, and and Friday, June 14th for the filing of motions. So I think to be complete for the record, I think I was suggesting, maybe we've even agreed to Wednesday, June 12th for the final exchange of discovery, if I have that right. And then motions filed within the next 2 days so that everyone had them in hand by Friday, June 14th, which is roughly 10 calendar, it provides everyone involved with roughly 10 calendar days. And 5 business days before the hearing.
All right. I think that sounds good, and I don't hear an objection from Ms. Geiger.
No objection. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Any other deadlines that we need to consider? Those are all that I have, unless the parties are aware of something that we need to discuss.
Relative to the request that we identify months, I had suggested that we, in good faith, advise each other of any depositions that we believed either side needed to take by May 1st and conclude those by May 31st, if that is acceptable to everyone. And again, I feel very comfortable being in a position to work collaboratively with either Ms. Geiger or the outside advocate on any of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think that will be a problem. Obviously, the working together is going to be fine. I think the dates are fine as well. I don't think the dates are an issue.
Okay. All right. That works for me as well. I think that's a good plan. Anything else?
It's not urgent. I just wanted to ask Ms. Geiger to identify the outside advocate at her first opportunity. And as a matter of housekeeping, would these dates come out in some written form or?
We'll put them on paper. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. I took good
You
notes.
should receive
but
it within
just to
the
be
next
certain.
couple of days or so.
Very good.
Anything else from anyone that we need to consider?
Nothing from the commission.
Nor for Mr. Shore.
Okay. Okay. All right, great. Okay, then. The deadlines will be drafted, and we'll make sure that everyone gets a copy within the next couple of days or so. And I extremely am impressed with the proposition to work collaboratively, because I like that very much. I think it helps hearings go much more effectively that way. So thank you for that. And thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you all.
That concludes today's hearing.
Gina, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
getting us together.